Well, where I worked in the factory was the making of lagging material, and the dust that came off that was white. Hence we were called the snowmen, because when you walked out, the only part you could see was your eyes.
Everything that sustains the wealth creation of our society has been built, this is no exaggeration, on the graves of workers who perished to get us to this point.
When asbestos is inhaled into the lungs, it gets stuck in your lung, and the hair follicles in the lung can't expel it. The effects of that won't be seen for about 30 years, and that's the tragedy of the whole situation with asbestos.
I started work at Hardie's in 1968 and worked through till 74. The first signs I had was down on the snowfields in 98. We were to start our first lessons, and I turned to my wife and I said, "Dale, I can't breathe." And from there on I've struggled to breathe.
I was diagnosed on June 16th of 2003, and that was the diagnosis. The surgery to remove my lung was on July 28th, 2003. I'm not exactly sure how I was exposed because there were a number of different options.
I've already lost one brother. He worked there for 25 years. He was a foreman there and he got me the job there. I have another older brother who also suffers from asbestosis, and my youngest brother was a carpenter who was exposed to Hardie's in the end product use. Well, it's certainly an impact on the lives of my 11 grandkids. They know that they've got to be very careful when they're around Poppy, because they can't run and jump on him, you can't go out and play with him. It's just like you're a really old man and you just can't move around.
In 1999, it changed our lives. My husband was diagnosed with mesothelioma.
He was doing a job he hated, and he just did it because it was security. And I lost a fabulous fellow because of it.
We were expecting our first grandchild. Well, he did live to see her, and he died just before her first birthday.
I used to listen to him breathing, and it's 4 years down the track and I still have trouble going to sleep because the noise isn't there.
In the factory where I worked at Camellia, there were 137 people worked there. Of those 137 people, there are now 10 people left that we've confirmed. My lung capacity has dwindled from 40%, whereas my lung capacity is down to 20% now.
This is the former head office of James Hardie. On investigation, we found that the building to be riddled with asbestos products. I believe it's to be refurbished. The building behind us, I believe, is going to be for some commercial facilities. One of the workmen told me that part of it is going to be a daycare centre. The older building beside, which is covered with what they call Super 6, has friable asbestos in it because I've seen it for myself. That is going to be turned into a supermarket.
In the World Trade Center buildings, there was tremendous amount of asbestos used in the construction of those buildings. So when they were destroyed and came down so fast, it was part of that large part of that cloud of dust was asbestos, and the people that we care about the most, the firemen and the policemen, were highly exposed to that dust. They didn't have protective masks in most cases, and the EPA was saying that there was nothing wrong with the area. Now, people are already starting to show up what they're calling 9/11 cough.
We have with us today Bernie Banton, who reminds us of how timely these battles are. And on your behalf, I congratulate Bernie Banton for his leadership as speaking for the victims of asbestos-related disease.
We're not here about money. We're here about justice for victims and their families. Because the money doesn't repay you for what you lose. When you lose a family, loved one, or friends that you worked with, money doesn't repay you for that. But it does give you a chance to provide for one's family. But it never brings back or takes away the hurt or the pain that's suffered by victims and their families.
When you look at your own mortality, and you got to either go with it or crawl into a big ball and die, I'd rather go with it and enjoy everything I can until there's no more enjoying left. You got to stay in the present, and it's pretty enjoyable and enlightening to be in the present. Enjoy every day. Enjoy everything you got. Enjoy the air around you. Enjoy the sunshine, and take it in. Don't take anything for granted.